ready to go, ready to go live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Okay. I'm just having some technical issues. No? Oh, it's working. It's working. All right. Awesome. Okay. Great. Now we're live on all platforms. Excellent. Okay. And I can hear myself. All right. Taking closing that down. Okay. Great. So, hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my new video, my premiere. I'm actually really curious to hear what you guys thought about it. I spent a significant amount of time putting that together. Um, I hope you guys had some new insights or learned something new, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And so this half an hour now that we're going to have together is all about you guys asking questions about the astral projection practice. Maybe you've been practicing for a while and you've been stuck with it. Something's not working for you, or maybe you're a complete beginner. You don't even know where to start. And I'm here to give you some insights and some pointers and help you out. And also, of course, for those of you that are interested in joining my program, you can book a call, a free call, and we can talk about if that's possible as well, and see if we can help you with your practice. There's a link below this live, and there's also this barcode up here that you can click on or scan probably. Okay, so Heidi Sam, I'm echoing. Am I still echoing right now? Let's see if she's replying. I think I'm not. I think I am good now. So if you guys have any questions, like put them in the comments so I can see them. And we can go from there. Yes, sound is clear. I no echo. That's great. Yeah, I had YouTube opened as I was watching the premiere myself, eating my own cookies, and then once I started the live, the premiere actually starts on the live starts on the premiere, and then there's echo. So that's how that worked. Which part of the video was your favorite? I'm curious if you guys had some favorite parts. They're like, I like this part. Let me know. Okay, here we have this one. So from I've Mark, I've gotten so far as having someone introduced themselves to say I'm the spirit, and then I got frightened and woke up. Like that sounds pretty good. You got someone that came to you to visit you, and that's one of the things that happens when you are practicing astral projection. We have this idea that we are alone in our houses because we don't see anybody else physically, but like it or not like it, there's going to be other entities and beings around in your house sometimes that come and go. And when you're practicing astral projection, you can experience that you're going to interact with somebody, and you have to really let go of fear in that moment. You have to really just kind of go with it. One of the things that's happened to me multiple times, and I luckily I was told about this from the very beginning that this could happen, so I didn't get scared. But what happened was that I was practicing. I was laying down. I wasn't even out of body. I was just laying down, doing the practice, getting close probably in the right state. That's why I could experience that. Got into the right state, started feeling, just where the vibrational state starts. For those of you that don't know, the vibrational state is essentially this vibration that goes through the body when you get into the right state of consciousness just before you project. And when you start getting close to that state, you have already shifted frequency from the physical dimension that we are right now into another dimension. And so at that point, you can hear things, you can hear sounds, you can feel the vibrations, things like that can happen. What happened to me was that I felt the hand that grabbed onto my hand, but it was very soft. It wasn't like in a hostile way. It was just like someone's hand that just grabbed my hand and then pulled me and just pulled me, and I just got out of body like that. I just kept holding on to the hand, and the hand helped me to get out of body. And and that was actually the experience that I shared in the video they just saw, where I was speaking about how I met my spirit guide and the things that she told me and stuff. That experience started with this hand, which was, I could tell that it was a hand of a woman. It was a soft hand. It wasn't like big. It was just a very gentle female hand that pulled me out gently. And I didn't get scared. I just kept myself calm. And I am so happy I did, because that was the experience that got me to meet my spirit guide. And that's the thing with these sensations or visitors that you might get. It's usually an invitation, and it's usually down to you to be spiritually mature enough and have let go of enough fear that you can just remain calm and not freak out. If you see someone in your house, don't freak out. Just be, okay, cool. I'm now having an astral projection. Anything can happen. Let me just go with it. Let me see where this is going to take me. So if it's a hand, grab onto the hand. If it's an invitation somewhere, go with it. Don't be afraid. It's going to be okay, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to take you somewhere. It's going to take it to the next level. Usually it's like a challenge for you to see whether or not you are able, or you're able to go past your limiting beliefs and fears and filters of reality that you might have from religion, from movies, from who knows what, and just go with it. That's what you have to do. Just go with it. Okay, another comment here. Kirian, I went through a friend's kitchen wall, and the cat sensed me and knocked the glass off the bench. I rang and confirmed the next day. It definitely happened. That's really cool. Like when you get these kind of confirmations that you went to someone and you saw a cat, and the cat saw you, and then they moved a physical object down on the floor, and then that the people in the room could tell that happened, and you have that confirmation. That's really awesome. And I hear these stories all the time from people that are having out of body experiences, that have these little things. Like, for example, one recently I heard one. There was uh, so there was a guy. He went out of body. He went out of his room. He went around the neighborhood, and he saw that all the whole parking lot was full of was just white. That's what he saw. Just it was just white cars, white ground, white everywhere. And he was like, "Oh, that's weird. That's an interesting filter. What is that?" He came back to his body, and then when he went outside, he realized that it had snowed, and the snow just came overnight, and he had no idea that it snowed. So that's why he saw this white stuff, and many more other confirmations like that. And those confirmations are really awesome, because those are the ones that proves to you that that experience that you had was real, was more than just a dream. Like it was actually something that happened. and it's proof to you. Unfortunately, it's not proof to anybody else. Unfortunately, everybody still have to have their own experiences to really believe it, because it still sounds too out there for most people. I know that from firsthand experience. Oh, I like this one. Heidi says, to find purpose. I had a near-death experience that told me it's not your time, everything is love, and we're connected. Yeah, this is exactly what you get to hear from like so many near-death experiences that people have, and it changes your life forever. And then you can have out-of-body experiences that it can be very similar, where you can have a profound awakening in one or two or whatever out-of-body experiences, where you speak to a spirit guide, or you just have an experience that shows you what the universe is, what life is. You come back from that and you completely changed forever, and you don't have to die in the process. You don't have to even get close to dying in the process. You can just have the experience through this practice. I love that. So Mariam is feeling bad because she missed the video. Yes, the video, the premiere that we just watched, is going to be on YouTube now, and so you can watch it whenever you want. So yeah, don't worry. Oh, this one is great. Can you heal other people, or animals from the astral plane? So I think what you mean is essentially, can you go out of body and travel to somebody and then heal them through that out of body state? And the answer is yes. And actually, we had a Reiki healer. One of our students was a Reiki healer, or is a Reiki healer, and she knew Reiki, and then she started to learn astral projection, going out of body and stuff. And she was telling me how she had an experience, or experiences, I think it was many more, where she was able to, when she was doing the Reiki, suddenly she was teleported into the room of the person that she was doing Reiki on, from the astral, I mean, from this, through this out of body experience practice. And what she said that was really interesting to me was that she could see the environment that her patient was in, and it was like a hospital environment. And she could also see the energy that was moving through her hands, and also throughout the body of this person. She could see the different areas of the body that needed healing. So she had like some sort of X-ray vision in that state when she was doing the healing. And that's really, really powerful. And I would love to have more people on board, learning and working with this stuff, like learning how to get out of body and then using that state to heal other people. That would be really cool to have more people that are interested in this. Because the thing is, this practice is there's so many things you can do, and we have students that come to us to learn it for variety of different reasons. And some people, most people come for exploration, exploring themselves, understanding their purpose here, where they come from, why they're doing here. But sometimes we get people that actually want to heal other people or help other people in this way. And if that's you, you're welcome to join us. And I'd love to teach you how to get a body so you can use that to heal other people or animals or the world, or whatever you want to heal. I'm all yours. Yes. Okay. Any other questions that you guys might have, that you would like some answers to, maybe with the practice? There is a few methods that we used in order to have out of body experiences. In my program, we approach it in multiple angles, because people are different. So Some people are able to do it with one method, other people doing it with another method. It has to do with whether you're a deep sleeper or a light sleeper, and also to do with how you sleep, how your schedule, how your work is, how your life is. There's many factors to it that will determine which way you should astral project that's going to fit you the best. And the only way to actually find out is through experimentation. So what we're doing in my program is that we're experimenting with different methods, and you get to try them for an extended period of time to see which one works the best for you. And then you can start to fine tune that method that is the best one for you. And you start to master it, and you get better and better at, to the point where you can have out of body experiences multiple times a week. Usually it's not every day. It's not multiple times a day. It's usually multiple times a week. And when that happens, it's amazing, because suddenly you have a superpower that you can access in your bedroom, you know, and it's like, and you have the skill for life. So it's, yeah. Mm, let's see what other questions we have here. Oh, this one. Fuad is asking, have you ever encountered alternative versions of yourself? If so, what's your experience? Yes, I've had this experience multiple times where it's, for me, it started like in a weird way. I would go out of body, and my intention would be to go out of body in my room, and I would get a body, and I would get out of body, and I would be in a room, but it wouldn't be my room. And when I look back at my body, it would be a different person lying in the bed. And then when I would look in the mirror, I would see a different face. And I would also get a download of this person's life, or like, yeah, like who this person is and what happened to this person or whatever. And one time I had an experience where I ended up in a home where something happened. And so it's like a parallel life that I have somewhere. So we have lives in multiple places at the same time, so to speak. And you can visit these other incarnations that you have in other places. And I was visiting this house that was empty, and but it was messy as well. There's stuff on the floor, and I just knew from being there, because you can get like these downloads when you travel to places. I just knew that something has happened to this version of me and to the family that was there, because there was signs that there was a whole family living there, but they were gone. And I got really invested in that experience. I got really invested in trying to figure out what happened to them. Where did they go? I was kind of like playing a detective. I was going around the neighborhood trying to find out information about what happened. I got really, really sucked into it. And then I came back to my body. And then the next day I went out again, and I got to the same place, and I continued the investigation. And then when I came back the second time, I remember how I had this insight that it was the weekend, because I was like, so when I came, where do I start? When I came back from that experience, as soon as I was back, I was like, oh, okay, I am here. Oh, this is my life. Okay. Right. And so then that experience just became like something in the background. But when I was there, my life became something in the background, like this life. And that life became like super important. It was interesting to me to see how quickly we can get so sucked into the life that we're having in that moment, and how quickly we can forget the life we just had a moment ago. Because I was aware of my other life, but for some reason you get so sucked in the moment to whatever you're doing. It's hard to explain, but I chose to not go back there again, because I felt like it was kind of sucking me into a problem that was happening on another level, that I felt like I didn't really want to kind of participate more into that lifetime. I wanted to kind of participate in this lifetime more, and so I didn't go back. And I another experience that was really interesting was when I was, oh, this was really fun. It was like I ended up in a wooden, I got a body, I was inside a wooden house, and it was not my house, it was someone else's house. I knew it from the beginning, like this is not my place. This is another reality somewhere else, but I'm gonna explore it. And I'm here now. Where am I going? And then this little short guy comes up to me, short, almost midget like guy, speaking to me in a language that I haven't heard before. But I remember that he was speaking, he wasn't telepathically communicating, because a lot of times in the astral, people can communicate with you telepathically. And this wasn't like that. He was just like, I'm like, what is this guy saying? I don't understand anything he's saying. But he was looking at me, and I can tell from the downloads that I was getting, that because you can read the environment when you're there, that this guy was this person was like my what did they call this person, that he worked for me. He was just kind of like in the house, taking care of the house, that kind of service. And he was just kind of talking to me very, very casually. I don't know what he saw looking at me, but I could tell that I don't know what he was. I couldn't understand what he was saying, so I decided to just kind of move him aside and just go outside and check the environment outside. And when I got outside of the this house, there was, there's lots of nature, trees, and all that. And then suddenly I see this huge giant, like massive. I was like maybe 10 times smaller than he was, and he was just kind of casually just walking, walking by me, and I was completely shocked. So I was like, I had like my face was like that, like super shocked, and he looked at me like why are you looking at me? And I later learned in that experience, I learned that that environment that I was in, that dimension, that place I was in, there were midgets and giants and all kinds of sized people, and they're all living in harmony. They were not like fighting or anything, so there was nothing to be afraid of. But it was really a shock to see that. So that was another parallel life that I was experiencing. Yeah, it's fascinating. To avoid going into bad realm. Heidi, how to avoid going into a bad realm. So there's a few things. First of all, we have to understand that astral projection is not a separate thing. Like the astral dimensions are not like a completely separate thing to your life here. As above, so below. So if you are in a good place mentally, emotionally here in the physical, then your vibration will be high enough that you're going to go to positive places in the astral, and where you're going to be a vibrational match to those positive places. Versus if you are in a bad place emotionally here, if you're full of fear and anger and trauma and all kinds of stuff, and then you decide to go out in the astral, you're going to be synchronized to a plane of existence that's going to be much more in line with yours. And it's just like kind of, it's by design, it's like automatic. Like you cannot access higher states of, I mean, higher vibrational frequency, higher dimensional frequencies when you come with a very low vibration, because that's dangerous for the people living there, to have people coming from lower places. So there's like, it's like filters that filters out your level of evolution, let's say. So the more evolved you are, the more, the more light you're going to be, the more high vibration you're going to be, the more you're going to access these higher realms. The more you're, in fear and you're angry and all of that kind of stuff, the more you're going to access lower realms. I think that's why a lot of religions simplified this process of that. When you die, you got to go either to hell or to heaven based on what you've done. That's a simplification of it, but in a sense it kind of makes sense, because if you're dying with a lot of anger and hate, and you're, just a bunch of stuff like that, you're going to go to a vibrational match. You're going to go to dimensions, can be a vibrational match to that. And so you're going to go to lower astral planes, and you can say that those places are a bit hellish. They can be dark, they can be very depressive looking, cloudy, gray and stuff like that. There's no devil there that's going to like, burn you forever in eternity, but there's going to be other people there that can be sick, maybe I remember I went to a dimension one time where there were just sick people everywhere, and and it wasn't dark. It wasn't like it wasn't these kind of hellish realms like lower astral. It just was another dimension where for some reason the people there were sick. Like everyone on the streets I would see on like they had scars, or not scars, but like pimples on their faces, and they just walked weird and almost like zombie like, but not zombie like. They just seemed very uh, just kind of very sick. That's the right word. So there's going to be places for those people too. So there's going to be like infinite amount of dimensions you can go to. It's not just like heaven or hell. You can go to multiple places depending on your vibration. So going back to your question, how to avoid bad realms, it's about first being in a good place emotionally and mentally and all of that here. And then when you're doing the practice, when you're actually having the when you start the practice, when you start to, if you're doing it through the meditation, it's about filling yourself with love, it's about filling yourself with bliss, it's about really like making yourself feel good and be in a good state, so that when you get a body, you're going to go to a beautiful place no matter what. And if for some reason you end up in a weird place, like that time when I ended up in the place where there was sick people, it's not a problem. You can just go away from that place. You can just shift into another place. You can focus on where you want to go, and you can go there. You can use different. You can use your intention. You can use your imagination to visualize where you want to go. You can use portals. There's different ways to travel, and then you can go to another place. Or if you just really didn't like anything that where the place where you're at, and you just wanted to finish the experience, you can just think of your body and return immediately. Or you just think about your bed and you're back. And that's why for me, astral projection is more safe. It's more safe to be out of body traveling and exploring and having experience than it is to be in the physical body having an experience. Because in the physical body, if you are, let's say you're somewhere down a dark alley or something, and someone's trying to hurt you, you can only have a few options. You can fight, you can run, you can hide. In the astral, if you have an experience that you don't like, if something's happening in front of you that you don't like, you can just immediately just think, okay, I'm going to return to the body now. And you're back to your body, back in your bed, in your pajamas, safe and sound, like as if nothing happened. So that's a superpower that we have in the astral, in the out of body state, that we don't have in the physical. And that's why, to me, it's more safe than traveling in the physical, because in the physical, you can get hurt, you can get killed, you can get physically hurt and physically killed. Whereas in the astral, you cannot get hurt or killed. You're just, things go through you. If someone tries to punch you, like their punch will go through you. And I've had that experience too once. And so you feel super safe. You just feel like a floating ghost traveling around with superpowers, and you're light, and you're just having a great time. For the most part, the problem is that it will finish quicker than you want to. Normally, that's usually the problem, that you will be in the middle of an experience that you want to continue, and then it will just suddenly will just finish, and you're like, oh, damn it! I just wanted to see what was in that, magical box, or I just wanted to hear more of what my spirit guide had to tell me about my purpose or my past lives or whatever it is. But you got sucked back to the body prematurely. And that part of the reason that that's happening is because every emotion that you have in the out of body state will be transferred to the body as well. So if you feel excitement, for example, like if you're like really excited about what is happening in that projection, that excitement will also be felt by the physical body, and your pulse will go up, and then you'll be sucked back, and then you wake up in the body like, oh, damn it. So you have to remain calm when you're practicing. You have to just kind of chill and just go with it, which is not as easy if you see something that scares you, of course. Then it's very easy to just tap into like fear and then get sucked back. But we have to really work as projectors. We have to really work on our fears, and also the things that we are learning with the astral projection practice is also very true in the physical world too. That fear is also the problem to the thing that's holding you back from achieving things in the physical is the same. It's the same in the astral. It's always fear that's holding you back from achieving evolution in the astral. Fear is always that thing that's like this thing that's testing you, and you have to move past fear always in order to grow in any area of life. Have you ever taken or used magic mushrooms for out of body travel? So yes, I have experienced many mushroom trips, but I've never been able to have an experience with astral projection and mushrooms. Um, and so people, I know a lot of people have been able to have, or not a lot of people, I just say some people have had an out of body experience while on mushrooms. Like they're tripping on mushrooms, and then they're suddenly having an experience where they're out of their body. I would say it's not that common for people to have it through mushrooms. It's definitely not something that I know anybody that can control it, that can decide, okay, I'm going to take mushrooms now, and then I'm going to get out of body. Like it's not very clear how that works. And if you do it through, if you want to combine it with the out of body practice that we teach, which is the classic way of getting out of body, the real out of body practice is all about putting your body to sleep while you're keeping your mind somewhat awake enough to notice when you get into the right state so that you can exit the body. It's very difficult to do that process of putting the body to sleep when you are on mushrooms, because the mushrooms will activate your body a lot. Your mind is like thinking lots of thoughts, it's very active. Your whole body is like pulsating. It's like, it's very intense. The mushroom experience is very intense. So for you to lay there and try to relax and put it to sleep, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult to put the body to sleep on mushrooms. And so I don't recommend doing any psychedelics for the practice itself, because it's not really helpful. I don't know any psychedelics that can actually help with the practice. But at the same time, I'm always, open to that people experiment and find new ways of doing things. So that's what my answer would be to that. So another question. Okay, last question here. What is something that you want to do in the astral but haven't yet? So that there is a lot of things that I would like to do in the astral that I haven't yet. Like it's like when you're there's so many things that you can do, and there's so many places that you can visit, that it's actually you're just scratching the surface when you're doing this practice. Like you can never, I don't think you can ever say, oh, I've done it all. No, far away. I'm definitely far away from doing so many things. If I were to say one thing that I really wanted to do that I haven't done yet, that will be like one of the sort of goals and top experiences that I think it is for me, and probably for more people, from a lot of people. It's to experience my higher self, is to experience, you know, maybe a fraction of God or a fraction of source in some way, to have that oneness experience. That I've had something similar on psychedelics. I have had the the Bufol Varius, which is the toad venom. Had a very powerful experience of that nature with that. But I want to have it with astral projection, because I want to have it naturally. I want to have it without any substances. I just want to be able to have it, and not have it just once, but be able to tap into that multiple times to explore the totality of what I am, what we are, like to just kind of see more of that essence. Essentially, I want to have more experiences like that. more zoomed out experiences. Because a lot of times when you do have experiences, you are going to be in a specific reality construct doing something, and that's like you're there. But I want to have a zoomed out experience when I'm just kind of like looking at the bigger picture, so to speak, and understanding the bigger picture better, broader, because I know that those experiences will bring the most transformation in life and the most healing. Because I know that from the experience that I've had with the toad venom, that was very transformational, very healing. And if you hear anybody that's had these experiences that talk about having experience with oneness, which they can have either through psychedelics, or they've had through psychedelics, or they've had through near-death experiences, the person comes back very transformed, and fear is not, like, fear is gone. The fear of dying is gone. Like, so many things are shifted. Essentially, a person has just had these magnificent insights, and that's what I had too. I had it as well on this toad venom, which was great. It was transformative. I had this magnificent insight that what we're doing here, and this place that we're in, and this whole reality that we're experiencing is, it's just mind-blowingly amazing. It's so complex and so profound in every possible way. I was just really lying there and just kind of like smiling and laughing out of how profound this whole thing really is. Because I was able to, for a brief moment, I was able to like perceive more data. Because right now, where we're here in the physical, we're very limited to these five senses that we have for a reason. Because otherwise, if you were to be completely absorbing everything that's taking place all around us all at once, like, it will be way too much for you to handle. But that's kind of what was happening in that experience that I had. Like, I was experiencing more of reality, and I could just see how the universe was kind of connected and stuff. And it was so mind-blowing and beautiful. And at the same time, the message that came through was that there's nothing to fear. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Like, all the stuff that we're doing now, we're worried about wars, we're worried about this and this and that, like all this stuff that we're afraid of is going to be okay in the end. There's nothing to really fear. There's nothing to worry about. And I I remember that the message was so powerful on this trip, that I was thinking in that trip, I was thinking, oh my God, this is so amazing. I have to tell everybody about this experience. I have to even put it in week one of my program, my Ask Prediction program, so people go and experience this, because this is so important. Of course, when I came back from the experience, I was like, maybe it's not going to work for everybody, or maybe it's not the best thing, because it's pretty intense. I don't think it's not going to. That's the thing with psychedelics, like especially Bufo Warriors. They're so strong that it's not for everybody. It's a very intense, crazy roller coaster ride that you cannot hold on to anything. Like, you have to be prepared for that moment to let go of everything, to let go of your life, of your identity, of everything. And if you're holding on to, like, your ego, or like, oh, I want to be safe, or I want to control this, you're going to probably have a bad trip. So it's a very intense experience. But that's why I like astral projection, and I like to teach it, because it's not like that. It's not an intense, crazy roller coaster ride that you have no control over. It's a smooth, very gradual experience that happens gradually, like step by step. You start getting into vibrational state. You start learning how to exit your body. You exit for a few seconds, you come back in, then you go out of body again, and you stay for a few minutes, and maybe you look around your room, you're like, oh my God, I'm seeing my room. It looks the same. And wow, my hands are transparent. Oh, sucked back to the body. Then you go out of body again. And oh shit, there's an entity in my room now. Oh, that was scary. You go back to the body. The next day you try again. So there's like this process that it's much more it's smoother, and it's controllable. You can control it. You can end it whenever you want, which you cannot do with the psychedelic experience, because a psychedelic experience, once it started, man, you're gonna have to go through the ride. if it's Bufo Avarius or DMT, you're gonna go for 20 minutes, half an hour experience. If it's mushroom, you're gonna go for 4 hours. If it's like LSD, you're gonna go for 8 or 12 hours. And you cannot say I want to stop it now, because it's gonna be there. But with astral projection, you can always stop it. You can always decide when you want it to end, and you have the control of where you want to go and what you want to do. With these powerful substances, you don't really have control. You're just being taken somewhere. You can control your intention before you do it. Like, okay, my intention is to experience oneness, and then you take it, and then you just like blast into space, and you experience something, and then you come back and like, holy shit, what was that? So for some people that's amazing. Some people want that, and some people not so much. Some people are not really ready for that. So it's important that it's not recommended for everybody. But I would definitely recommend astral projection for everybody, especially because most of you guys are already having experiences at night when you're sleeping, but you don't remember them. Or if you do remember something, you probably think it's a dream. Because when you wake up the next day, you remember some memories of something that you did. Of course, you're going to think it's just a dream, just some random thing. But a lot of times it can be more than that. And so it's nothing to fear. It's just something that you really want to encourage and do. DMT. Yes, DMT is, if you don't know what it is, look it up. What I was talking about before is the 5-MeO DMT, which is the most powerful DMT psychedelic on the planet. It's from a toad. The normal DMT is from it's like the same substance as ayahuasca, but you smoke it. It's not the same. The normal DMT is very alien-like, very kind of alien-like as in like weird shapes and fractals and strange, very strange things happens. You come back. I've done it many times. I never really had a profound, or it didn't heal anything. It didn't make me. It was just weird. It was just strange, weird worlds, weird places. But with the 5-MeO DMT, the toad venom, I've had that like 2 times, and it was really profound and helpful each time. There was some transformation that took place. So I recommend that for those that are brave enough to take something so insanely strong like that. All right, so I have to wrap it up now. But for those of you that want to learn how to have out-of-body experiences, let's hide that again. There is a link below where you can book a call with me, and also there's a link here. You can scan this, takes us to the same call page, and you can book a call with me, and we can talk about how we can help you to have out-of-body experiences, and also see if we can help you, because not everybody is a good fit. Not everybody can have these experiences. So during the call, I'm going to ask you some questions about where you are at right now, and try to figure out if this is something that is going to work for you. And if it is, I will be honest with you that, of how it's going to work. We're going to talk about all the details, and then we're going to help you to have these experiences on a regular basis. That's the whole point, so that you can go out there in the astral and have the experiences that you are looking for, whatever that is. If it's about healing, it's about connecting with a loved one, it's about gathering information, knowledge, all the things that I was talking about in the video before. All those things are possible with astral projection. It's a very powerful tool that you have access to, in the comfort of your home. And it's a life skill that you learn once, and then you can use that for the rest of your life. And it's a really powerful skill to learn, especially when someone that's close to you has passed away, and you want to be able to see them again, connect with them again. That's really powerful. And I wish the world would know more about this subject, because there's too much suffering around death in our world right now. There's too much suffering about not understanding what death is. And I think if people understand the transition process more and understand this whole process, I think we would live in a much more peaceful and loving life. where fear wouldn't be so intense as it is right now. All right. Thank you, guys. May the force be with you. See you on the next live. I'm going to do one in probably 2 weeks from now. That's the frequency I'm doing. And I'm going to release another YouTube video as well every 2 weeks. That's the plan. So stay tuned for the next piece. All right. Bye now.